And a lot of people will say, Tank is too small. Let me tell you something. Anybody that gets in the ring with Tank that is not a damn dinosaur is gonna feel something from it. And it ain't gonna be easy to hit it. Got boxing IQ. He may not sound like an intellectual guy when you hear him talk, but he knows the ring inside and out.
Florida, man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots.
Oh, Tank's gonna kill him. Tank's gonna kill him because he won't be able to touch Tank. And then
it's kind of like the Tyson thing again, though, right? Like when
it reminded me of that, but it also reminded me of like, oh, in barbershops across the world, people, or at least the country, people will talk about this and be like, oh, Tank's gonna kill him because he will not get hit.
Boxing world is buzzing as Gervonta Davis looks sharper than ever. Before his fight with Jake Paul, training clips show him smashing the heavy bag with explosive power and laser focus. Every punch and movement shows his dedication and hunger to win. His intensity and confidence have impressed fans and experts alike, proving he's in top form for this showdown. Analysts say Gervonta Davis can win, but only if he fights smart. They stress that he needs to use movement, control the ring, and time his shots instead of chasing an early knockout. Tank's true strength lies in his patience and ability to read his opponents. If he stays disciplined and keeps moving, experts believe Jake Paul won't be able to handle his accuracy and speed. While Tank is known for his power, his defense and counterpunching are what make him truly dangerous. Many agree that when he fights with strategy, no opponent at Jake's level can match his mix of skill, power, and footwork.
Can his speed and, his ability make up for that size difference, in your honest opinion?
Well, he has to be very smart throughout the course of the fight. It's hard to know in some things. I think Gervonta's just gonna stick and move. He'll be fast, play it smart, I don't see him staying still for too long so Jake can land some shots. He'll just try to touch him. Who knows, man? It's an exhibition. It's a money grab. Jake's fighting one of the best boxers ever.
Experts predict Jake Paul will face a tough reality once he steps into the ring with Gervonta Davis. They believe Tank's experience, speed, and fight IQ are far beyond anything Jake has seen before. Jake's past opponents were strong, but none had Tank's explosive timing or ability to spot openings. Analysts think the power difference will show as soon as Tank lands clean. They describe Jake's defense as raw, while Davis's experience allows him to read every move. That's why many see a knockout as almost certain. Most agree that when Tank connects, Jake won't have the stamina or defense to recover, leading to a quick, brutal finish.
Tank Davis look crazy, bro. Chilaquiles. Gervonta Tank Davis hitting a heavy bag in preparation for his Jake Paul fight November 14th down there in Florida. Man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots. You mean to tell me somebody who done fought UFC fighters and a man with Parkinson's disease can take a body punch from Gervonta Tank Davis, and y'all basing y'all logic just because Jake Paul is big? No, Tank's gonna go ahead and put this man to sleep. I'm telling y'all that right now. If Tank don't put this man to sleep, he done let the black community down, he done let boxing down, and he ain't never been that nice. You Tank fans, y'all trying to give him a pass. If y'all said Tank is as skilled as y'all say he is, if he does not put Jake Paul to sleep and stop Jake Paul, his boxing career is absolutely voided. He already don't care about legacy, and just imagine he don't knock out Jake Paul, and now y'all gonna say it's not a real fight, it's an exhibition. No, we not giving no passes, bro. This Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to put Jake Paul to sleep. I don't wanna hear nothing about, oh, Jake Paul too big. No, Jake Paul chin ain't never been tested by somebody that hit as hard as Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank should put this man to sleep with ease. I'll say that respectfully. If you don't put him to sleep,
A 2-pack of ass. That shit stink.
that's a 2-pack of ass at the highest level. And it's a musty energy at the highest level. Get it together. Get it together. Tank looks amazing. That's the Chilla Killer. Chilla Killers. Chilla Killers.
Weight has become one of the biggest debates ahead of this fight. Some argue the size gap is too large to overlook, while others believe Gervon's skill will outweigh the physical difference. Fans and experts are split. Some question if the fight is fair given Jake's bigger frame. Still, Tank supporters say his speed, discipline, and accuracy help him dominate larger fighters. They remind everyone that boxing isn't about size. It's about timing, control, and technique. Many believe Jake's basics are still to Rada pose a real threat, and Tank's superior skills will cancel out any size advantage Jake has.
It is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child, Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight. And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seem set to wear 12-ounce gloves. And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional records.
Michael Bisping praises Tank's amazing power and skill, but warns that size still matters. He respects Gervon's ability to adjust against bigger fighters, yet says physical differences always play a part. According to Bisping, Tank can outsmart and outmaneuver Jake, but the weight gap might test his stamina and ability to take heavy shots. Still, he admires Tank's mindset and believes if anyone can overcome this challenge, it's him. Bisping concludes that while size is a factor, Davis's sharp technique could still be enough to overcome Jake's strength, as long as he sticks to a perfect game.
Out there taking on Mike Tyson that's pushing 60 years old, for crying out loud, but at the same time pretending to be like this badass motherfucker, sending me DMs talking. He offered me a contract a long time ago, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm a retired fighter and I've got one eye. Why would I want to fight you? I wouldn't lower myself to doing that. I know a lot of people do that. They do lower themselves, if you want to say that, because of the payday, because Jake Paul is a big name. He is a social media sensation. He's a YouTube star. And now, of course, in the world of boxing, he's one of boxing's biggest stars because he puts on these spectacles like Paul versus Tyson, like Nate Diaz, because these are the fighters, these are the names that attract the eyes. Jake Paul is the B-side to almost every single one of his fights. When he fought Nate Diaz, people were tuning in for Nate Diaz. His last fight against Cesar Chavez Jr., apparently no one watched that fight. Apparently the pay-per-views were ridiculously low. So this one's going back to Netflix on November 14th, and it's an exhibition bout. Of course, it's an exhibition bout because no athletic commission in their right mind will sanction this fight. There's just no way you can make this a legitimate fight because of the size advantage. Typically, this would be very, very dangerous and someone could get really hurt. If Jake Paul was to swing as hard as he could and connect and wobble him and hit him many, many times and not knock him out, with the bigger gloves and the concussion possibilities and the brain rattling around inside the head, and Jake Paul just teeing off at him as hard as he could, it's dangerous. That's why fights like this can't get sanctioned. That's why this is a exhibition bout and not a real matchup. Now listen, they're both going to get paid tremendously. They're going to make a ton of money and a lot of people are going to tune in and watch it on Netflix.
Several analysts have spoken out against the unfair criticism of Gervonta Davis's career. They point out that many fighters who step into the ring with Tank gain huge recognition afterward. For instance, opponents like Lamont, who weren't well known before facing Davis, became popular and successful following their fights with him. Experts say this shows Tank's influence and star power in boxing. They reject claims that Davis isn't a major figure in the sport. arguing that his fights boost others' careers and keep fans excited. To them, questioning his legacy ignores how much he's done to raise the profiles of countless fighters just by facing them.
Ongoing discussion in the boxing world about Gervonta Davis and Gervonta Davis, his resume, who he's gonna fight, the competitors that he's gonna fight. And every once in a while, something happens that proves that Gervonta Davis is the face of that. If he's not the face of boxing because people just don't want him to be that, man, he is real close to it, because other than Canelo Alvarez, and even Canelo Alvarez included, nobody in boxing has divisions circulating around him like Gervonta Davis does. And that was proved during this Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz announcement for their pay-per-view. Just think about this. Gervonta Davis, they always say that Gervonta Davis has a poor resume, but yet Gervonta Davis, guys that fight Gervonta Davis, lose to Gervonta Davis, or get a draw to Gervonta Davis, can fight one another and make an anticipated pay-per-view between the two of them. Because that fight with Pitbull Cruz is a very, very popular fighter with Mexican fight fans. Lamont Roach got a lot of name exposure with black fight fans and Mexican fight fans and white fight fans, all with his draw that he got against Gervonta Davis. Now they believe that this is going to be able to be a profitable endeavor for a pay-per-view. Now, let me also tell you that Rolly Romero, who was somebody else that Gervonta Davis fought in the past, will be on a pay-per-view that's going to be successful, most likely, when he defends his WBC 140-pound championship. Or does he have the WBC?
Coach Reg offers a balanced take on the criticism aimed at Davis. He reminds everyone that Gervon has already achieved more than most fighters his age. In his view, there's nothing wrong with taking big money fights once you've proven yourself. Ray believes Tank deserves to secure his financial future after years of dedication and risk. He explains that every boxer eventually reaches a stage where earning life-changing paydays becomes a priority. Reg feels critics overlook how much Tank has given to the sport and underestimate his commitment, whether Tank retires soon or keeps fighting. Reg says he's already earned his place among the best lightweights.
You know what I mean? Especially Tank been talking about retiring, so why not get the bag and then go about your business if that's your plan? I mean, if that's your plan to retire, then go get the bag and then go about your business. You ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm not against it.
You got some people that are very critical, Tank. Does it make sense depending on what you're in boxing for? Because you got some people that want to fight the best. You got some people that want the accolades, the belts, the undisputed. You got some people that just came in this game like, look, I'm trying to get my family out of poverty and give us generational wealth. Does it all depend on what you decided to box for?
Well, Tank accomplished a lot at a young age. You know what I mean? He accomplished a lot at a young age. So I wouldn't be mad if he took the bag and went about his business and never fought again. You know what I mean? Plus, look at some of the things that he's going through. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of that can affect you as well. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to be in this game. So I think, get the bag and go. That's your plan. Get the bag and go.
For me, of course, I wanted to see him fight Shakur. I wanted to see him fight Devin.
Yeah, we all wanted to see him fight.
Guess what, bro?
Some experts note that the buzz around this fight also comes from Davis's fame and cultural impact. As one of the most well-known black fighters in America, Tank naturally attracts massive attention from the media and fans. His fights go beyond boxing, they're cultural events that resonate with people. Analysts say his popularity has made him one of the sport's biggest stars, bringing both love and criticism. They also point out that public perception heavily shapes how fans view fights like this. Davis's fame ensures that every move he makes becomes news. But most agree that his talent, not just his popularity, has earned him the spotlight.
Tank Davis, especially an American black fighter, right? Everything is embellished and, made into a bigger deal, especially when they're popular fighters like Gervonta Davis. Or Floyd Mayweather has a close fight with Castillo Maidana, and it's the end of the world. Andre Ward has a tough fight with Kovalev. Oh, it's the end of the world, he cheated, and all this stuff. Jermell Charlo has a close fight with Castano, so on and so forth, right? Oh, Jermell, it was a robbery, and it turns into this big deal. But back to Tank's resume, his last opponent was Lamont Roach. I thought he won the fight. There wasn't this crazy action happening on Lamont Roach's side prior to that knee thing. I feel like when the knee fiasco happened, that's when the fight started to pick up a bit. And Lamont Roach, I think what he deserves credit for is he exceeded expectations that people have for him. But you can't score a fight based on expectations. You feel me? Right? Like, you don't get a fight and get the victory because you did better than people thought you were gonna do. That is not how you score boxing, right? You don't get more points because you're the underdog and you did better. It's not how boxing works at all, right?
The analysts view this fight as a global spectacle, more than a traditional boxing contest. Jake Paul's fame from social media and entertainment has made him a crossover figure. Instead of a pure boxer, experts say this matchup isn't just about competition, it's designed to grab the world's attention. With Netflix broadcasting it, the event is set for massive reach. Some predict Tank will dominate because of his superior skill, while others think Jake's celebrity appeal adds excitement. The fight represents the fusion of boxing and entertainment, where real skill meets showbiz. Whether it's competitive or not, millions will watch, and both fighters will make global headlines.
Jake Paul, thoughts? I will reiterate one more time. I would rather see this because it's a spectacle than him versus Ryan Borland or Andre August or chasing these like quote-unquote championship dreams in boxing. I don't think he's a championship level boxer. I don't really care about that journey. I want to see him in spectacles. Netflix is going to air Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. So to me, this is,
Do you think it will do well?
It will be watched. It will be watched.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. A lot of people are going to watch.
I would rather see Anthony Joshua just because that has been put out there and is on the table. But I will watch this.
I saw some people breaking this down on, it was a non-fight pod. It was, I don't remember which one. And they were saying like, oh, Tank's gonna kill him. Tank's gonna kill him because he won't be able to touch Tank. And then
It's kind of like the Tyson thing again though, right? Like when
it reminded me of that, but it also reminded me of like, oh, in barbershops across the world, people, or at least the country, people will talk about this and be like, oh, Tank's gonna kill him because he will not get hit.
Even Fulton has stepped up to defend Gervonta Davis from critics, who accuse him of chasing easy paydays. He argues that every boxer deserves financial security, especially given how short and risky boxing careers are. Fulton says Tank has already proven his greatness, so taking high-profile fights now is a smart move. He urges fans to see the bigger picture. Davis has earned the right to chase both legacy and financial success. Fulton's defense reflects a growing mindset in boxing, respect for fighters who know their worth, and won't let outdated expectations define them.
Anybody in that position would have taken that fight, especially the payout. It's like, that's a no-brainer, but I understand. I still feel for Lamont. That's my boy. Like, he still want his rematch. But then when you be realistic about the money situation, you're changing your whole family life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's people hate on it because they're not in that position. I'm not saying Lamont. I'm speaking like other boxers. You're like, oh, he this for that. He's this. It's a side quest. It's a little side quest. Because what happened when Floyd and all these guys went on WWE, but then they get right back to what they doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's another little side quest. I'm all for people just getting their money. So get the best, make the most that you can out of this entertainment world. Because I mean, I don't know. I would have done it as far as the money aspect, because none of us would deny that money. They talk like they would, none of them would deny that money.
Eddie Chambers warns that underestimating Gervonta Davis would be a huge mistake. He acknowledges Jake Paul's size advantage, but insists that Tank's skill, power, and ring IQ make him a nightmare for any fighter. Chambers explains that Davis's sharp reflexes and explosive combinations can break down bigger opponents who don't defend well. He believes unless Jake becomes a true powerhouse, he'll struggle to handle Tank's speed and precision. According to Chambers, Davis remains one of the most dangerous fighters pound for pound because of his timing and calm under pressure. His comments reinforce that size means little against someone as skilled and mentally sharp as Gervonta.
That something like this can happen, but this is social media. This is what is created. There's a lane that Jake Paul has created. Honestly, I'm not mad at him for it. It's gotten a lot of fighters and, you know, action fighters some shine. It also has done for women's boxing a lot. So I'm not mad at him for what he's been in boxing and what he's created. This is a little crazy right here. This is a little crazy. And a lot of people will say, Tank is too small. Let me tell you something. Anybody that gets in the ring with Tank that is not a damn dinosaur is gonna feel something from him. And it ain't gonna be easy to hit it. Got boxing IQ. He may not sound like an intellectual guy when you hear him talk, but he knows the ring inside and out.